Hello, loves. So today is kind of a little bit of a special day. I'm going to be showing y'all how I'm making an offering bowl, and I'm going to be using the Craft Smart natural clay in terracotta. And basically, I'm doing this because I wanted to create my own offering bowl. You can make your own kind of like dish of whatever it is that you want, but I'm going to be adding symbols, and I'm going to be focusing on making it with intention so that anytime that I use this bowl is specifically for a ceremony. So I'm going to start by taking the clay and start shaping it with my hands, start smoothing it out, and kind of giving it a little bit of thickness, just spreading it out, but also making sure that it's not too thin, but it's also not too thick. And so I'm just like building it up slowly but surely, taking my time with it and making sure that I am praying over it and putting in my intentions as I'm creating this, because anytime that you are creating something with your hands and putting something together with your hands, you are tapping into your fertility energy and your fertility magic. And so you are birthing this new thing. You're creating something. So this is something that's going to be used for specific, for me, for something very specific, but I want to make sure that it has all of my intention and that I'm adding all of my, my juju in there. And so I'm just smoothing it out so my fingerprints are not just like all over it, and just kind of taking my time with it, making sure that I'm covering up any little minor holes or anything like that. It is going to shrink after it dries, so I want to make sure that as it does that, it's not like crackling or anything like that, and that it can sustain itself with no problem. And I'm just like shaping it still with my hands, making sure that it's the shape that I want. Now it's going to be a little bit rustic, and that's totally fine. I don't want it to look super perfect. I just want it to, do what it is that I wanted to do, and be the plate that I wanted it to be. So I'm just shaping it until I'm content with it, and then I'm going to focus on creating my symbols. Now I am going to be using more traditional symbols. These symbols that I'm using are traditional to my Taíno side, that's my Native American side. So I'm not going to share the significance or the why I'm using these symbols specifically or what they mean, because they're very sacred. And this is one of the reasons why I was debating whether or not to share this video with you guys, because I didn't want to just kind of like share every single thing. Some things are very sacred, some things have to remain private, and that's kind of one of them. But I did want to show you guys how I was going to be doing it, and I'm just going to start by creating the shape of it and kind of making it like look like a plate first, and just going around from there. And just I picked one of our traditional designs for one of our sacred geometries, and I wanted to use that as the base, the reference of what I was going by to build up the design all together. So I'm just going around, and I'm making sure that I don't go too deep, because you don't want to break the thing. But I also, because it's going to shrink, I don't want it to be not deep enough that the design doesn't stand out when it dries. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just letting it, I'm going around, and I'm going to go in and make sure I take off any little bits of the side that are just kind of like hanging around or whatnot, so that way I can actually use it properly, and it's not like crumbling out of my hands when I'm using it. So I'm going through and I'm just shaping it, removing any excess clay that I may have, and I'm going to slowly but surely start creating my design. So I'm taking my time to like clean up the edges and make sure that it's defined, because if I don't do it like super deep enough, then it's going to dry off and it's going to close off on top of each other. So I want to make sure that it doesn't penetrate the plate, but it also is very defined, so that when it dries, it will just, you know, dry beautifully and it's still very, very much defined. This is something that you can do for literally any spirit that you work with. You can make them something out of clay. It's something that's very traditional within indigenous culture to create stuff anyway, and this is something that you can do for any spirit that you work with. You can make an offertory bowl or plate, and that could be like your designated bowl or plate that you use to work with them, to give them offerings or whatnot. And you can use that as like a point of, you know, charged, like a charged foundation for your petitions or whatever it is. And so that's something really powerful that you can add to your practice while also getting creative and giving spirit something that you love. So yeah, I really, really loved doing this for my ancestors, and I know they love it. It's been sitting in their altar for a while, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, this process. I'm just like cleaning off all the little tiny bits, but yeah, it's pretty much done and it dried up so beautifully. I'm gonna be doing another one for one of my other spirits soon, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will definitely see you loves in the next one. Definitely check out the detailing. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys have a very, very beautiful night, and yeah, bye.